Because of COVID-19, I am going to be answering the question of, is it a good time to buy a home right now? Is it even possible to buy a home right now? Like, what should we be doing with our money? Should we wait? What should we do? So if you're interested in hearing what my thoughts are on this question, then keep watching. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then welcome, and go ahead and click the subscribe button. Make sure that you click the like button and leave any comments, questions, or video suggestions in the comment section down below. And for those of you that are new, hey, my name is Kiana Williams, more popularly known as Stony Brooks, and I am the singing real estate agent. So for a lot of you that are new to my channel, and then for those of you that are returning to my channel, most people, if you don't know me personally, don't know that I actually am a licensed real estate agent. So I am licensed in the state of North Carolina, and I've had my license for a little over 3 years now. If you have seen my family, then you may have figured out that we actually are a family that works in real estate. So that is what my parents do. They own a real estate company, Stepken Realty. We help people buy or sell houses, investment properties, things like that. But we also do a lot of real estate appraisals, and that's actually the bulk of our business. And so we are super knowledgeable about real estate in general. So I have decided to add a real estate component to my channel because a lot of people don't know how much I know about real estate, and I've just wanted to share that with people. And so if you do have any real estate questions, if you have any questions about Charlotte real estate in particular, and then the surrounding counties around Charlotte, then I am your girl. If you are looking to buy a home in Charlotte, then I'm also happy to help you with that. I was recently on the Mastermind podcast, and if you have not checked out the Mastermind podcast, then make sure that you go ahead and search them. I believe that they are on the iTunes podcast app. I think you can find them also on YouTube as well. So we were talking about real estate, and I was answering a lot of questions that a lot of millennials tend to have about real estate because it's not something that people just know about. If you haven't learned about it, if you didn't grow up in a family that did real estate like me, because my family has been doing it for like 20 years now, then you probably just don't really know a lot about it other than what you hear like in passing conversations or seeing homes for sale. You hear about real estate investing, and there's just so many questions. So that is what we're going to be breaking down. The big question is it still a good time to buy a home given the fact that we are in a global pandemic? Does that make sense right now? So the short answer is yes. Yes, it is. Despite the stay-at-home orders and a lot of people that are now unemployed, there is still a lot of movement happening in the real estate market. So like I said, my parents, they own a real estate company. They have owned a company for 20 years now, and the bulk of our business is appraisals. So when do you get an appraisal on a home? Mostly what we see are the purchases or the refinances whenever we're doing appraisals. So with that being said, we're still getting a lot of business. There are still people buying their homes, there's still people refinancing their homes, and there are more people, I would say, refinancing their homes because of the current conditions. So one of the big things that buyers are gonna be facing is financing. So if you are a person that has a lot of money in the bank, then you're gonna be in a whole different category. But if you're like most of us who will need a loan to buy a home, you'll need to sell your home to buy another home or something of that nature, then you might have a little bit of issue getting financing right now. So because we don't really know what's going on with COVID-19, and it has an inevitable impact on our economy and the global economy in general, a lot of banks are a little bit afraid to loan money. So if you don't have a superb credit score, you're gonna have a little bit more difficulty obtaining financing. So that is gonna be one of the big drawbacks to trying to purchase a home right now. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know, and if you are kind of looking at the background, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm 26 years old. So my goal for this year still is to purchase a home by the end of the year. So I'm not just giving blind advice about what you should do. This is my actual plan. If you are thinking about purchasing a home after COVID is over, or if you're wanting to buy a home right now that we've established that it's still okay to invest in real estate, I'm gonna give you 3 things that you can be doing right now to prepare yourself when you're ready to enter into the housing industry. So number 1 is to make sure that you have a great credit score. So like I said, Banks are a little leery about loaning money right now. The one caveat to this, the one exception, is if you have great credit. You think about it, are you really wanting to give money to someone who has a bad history of paying it back? They have all these things that are negative remarks that tell you, red flag, don't do it. Banks are the same way. So your credit score is going to be the best indication to a bank about your willingness and your ability to pay back their loan. So if you can, pay down debt right now, that would raise your credit score. If you can work on getting negative things removed from your credit, then that's going to be a great thing that you can do to raise your score. And then in general, just making sure you're making your payments on time, that you are paying off credit cards, that you're not opening new credit cards and things like that, that'll help you raise your credit. In addition to that, your credit score is also going to help you qualify for better interest rates. Better interest rates in general are going to equal lesser payments every month. So that's like a really great thing. Getting a lower interest rate is going to help you be able to get more home for less money, or a nicer home for less money. Number 2, educate yourself on the home buying process. There are a lot of things that happen during the course of buying a home, and if you talk to anyone that has ever purchased a home before, they will tell you the exact same thing. Some of it is a little confusing and a lot of it is scary. But if you can educate yourself on what the contract looks like, about all the fees that you're gonna have to pay, all of the things that you're gonna have to pay for, such as appraisals and surveys potentially, how much money you're gonna need down, you can just talk to people and get familiar with what's gonna be expected once you enter into buying a home or selling your home, if that's what's happening. You can talk to loan officers, mortgage brokers, you can talk to your bank and figure out, what am I gonna need in order to qualify? How much money do I need to make to qualify for whatever level of home that you want, however much money you wanna spend? If I wanna purchase a $200,000 house, how much money do I need to make a month? How low do I need to get my debt to qualify for that? And so those are things that you can be doing right now, even if you're not necessarily ready to buy right now. If your credit score is not where you need it to be, you can still educate yourself to figure out exactly what's gonna be happening and once you get into that process. I will tell you, it is much easier to understand what's happening if you have some idea of what's happening prior to entering into the process. Once you find that home and put an offer on it, the process moves pretty quickly, so you don't want to be overwhelmed or discouraged if things happen and you don't quite know what's going on. You can circumvent all of that by just doing a little bit of research before you even get started. And my channel is going to be a really great resource for that, so make sure that you subscribe, because I am going to be continuing to post more videos about the home buying process. And like I said in the beginning of this video, feel free to leave any comments or questions about the home buying process down below, and I'll be happy to answer them in a future video. That brings me to number 3. Number 3 is going to be stack your money. Once this is over, cash is going to be king. There is going to be an influx of new inventory on the market, and then there are going to be less people as a result of losing their jobs and not being able to pay their bills that are not going to be able to afford homes when this is over. During this time, a lot of mortgage companies have offered grace. For people that own homes, they have been able to defer their payments for 3 months and add it to the back end, and all of these different things that have been put in place to help them afford their home. When this is over, there are going to be people that are still going to be underwater, and that's the unfortunate truth of the matter. If you are able to hold on to cash, to stack cash, to stockpile resources, then you are going to be in a dramatically better situation than most people in the United States and probably in the world, to be honest. If you can save money in whatever ways possible to have money when this is over, you are going to be in a superior position. Basic Econ 101. So prior to COVID kind of taking over the world, we were in a seller's market. There was not a lot of inventory and there were a lot of buyers. People were flooding to those homes, the little bit that was on the market, and what happened was a lot of homes were getting into these bidding wars where people were bidding $10,000 and $15,000 over asking price to get a hold of the home because There wasn't really a lot out there. So we've kind of reversed a little bit. Now we have all of these people that still, they either want to get out of their mortgage because maybe they've lost their job or they haven't been able to work. And then just in general, people, wanting to sell their home to buy a new home or have been getting something else built or something like that. Just a variety of things. Those people still want to sell their homes. But throughout this pandemic, there was a period of time where we couldn't even show homes. And nobody really wants to buy a home that they haven't seen. I wouldn't do it. Some people will, but I probably wouldn't do it. With that being said, you'll also have less people who will feel comfortable qualifying for a loan, and whereas they might have been ready 2 months ago, now they're a little intimidated. So you'll have lower demand and a higher inventory. What happens? It's gonna drop prices. It's gonna put you in a better position than you would have been if you would have bought 3 months ago. So yes, I do think that now is still a good time to buy a home if you're in a position to buy one, but even if you're not in a position, I think by following those 3 steps, which are working on your credit score, educating yourself about the home buying process, and then also saving as much cash as possible, that you are gonna be in a really great position once COVID-19 is over to make your home buying goals a reality. So again, my name is Kiana Williams, also known as Stony Brooks, and I am the Singing Real Estate Agent. I hope that this video was helpful for you. And again, if you have any comments, questions, or video suggestions about anything that I said, then go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. And then also, let's get a conversation started. So are you thinking about purchasing a home, and what are your pros and cons? What things are you kind of struggling with in making that decision? So I'll see you guys next time. Make sure that you subscribe. Have a great day.